Fresh crises have erupted in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, as unknown gunmen have invaded several areas of the state. And also, how long do we have to wait for the president to appoint his new cabinet? This is Plus Politics, and I am Mary Anna Cohn. It's sadly becoming a norm to see everyday reports of attacks on different parts of the country. For instance, the state capital of Taraba, Jalingo, was put under siege yesterday, leading to the loss of several lives and properties. What do we do to stop these killings? Joining me to discuss this conversation, I have Mr. John Wesley, a political analyst. It's good to have you join us, Mr. Wesley.
Thank you for
having me. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Same, yeah.
Well, of course, we're not starting on such a great note. We're talking about deaths. We're talking about killings. We're talking about the shedding of blood. And just yesterday, we reported, a number of people died. Some days ago, soldiers were killed. And today, fresh attacks in Jalingo. It makes me really wonder, what are we doing?
We cannot say that we are not doing anything. At least I've been going through a series of reports, and I have been seeing that, a whole lot is happening. Jalingo is a place I know, at least to an extent. I served in Taraba State that should be about 12 years ago now, thereabout. Precisely Takum local government. There is this peculiar crisis, the Tiv and the Jukum crisis. It's always happening. And I remember then when I was serving, it was the period when the crisis had just ended. So coming to hear about the same thing happening. So I read about it and I learned that still the same Tiv Jukum crisis. So, like I was saying to someone, one of the things that we must acknowledge is that everybody wants peace. So some people do not just wake up overnight and begin to foment trouble, begin to create crisis without some set of people, motivating such. So I think from the angle of security, we should begin to look at that. Who are those behind this?
Of course, we know I don't think it's news in Nigeria. We always have communal clashes, but the degree of killings we have seen in the space of a week, it's barely even a week. There has to be something. And if this has been something that's been happening over the years, how come the root cause has not been addressed? Because most times we put plaster over the cancer instead of dealing with the real issue. And the question is why?
Well, the root cause is not being addressed because you cannot take away politics from it. When you look at I may want to say a few things, and I may not want to go deep because of my research back then, because, I had to find out what was the cause. The crisis emanated as a result of we are not happy with some things. And when you look at what they are not happy with, they are actually not happy with the elite class. And so one of the things they did then was to go after the rich men, bring down their properties, burn their houses, all their investments that were close to where they could reach.
But that's not the case today, is it?
No. If you have read, apart from the fact that some people went to, a guy went on the farm to kill someone and all of that, and headsmen. It's just interwoven. There are different activities of the killings, not just a particular kind of killing. A whole lot of it has been happening. Maybe there are some that are not even being reported. So the issue is as much as the soldiers, the officers are trying so hard, to resolve this. Okay, imagine there was one that happened. Somebody went on the farm to kill someone somewhere around, and then he was arrested, and a set of youths went ahead to the police station, to do everything to rescue the guy out. For what reason? On what grounds?
So this, for me, shows some form of chaos. There is a state of chaos. If law and order cannot be stamped in that society, then there is total chaos. It means that security agencies or security and law enforcement is somewhat incapacitated. The chief security officer of the state, which is the governor, has to say something. Community leaders of I mean, we cannot rule out all of this because of like you said, the history of this issue.
Yeah.
So why are we, I'm back to my question, why are we not exploring other avenues to deal with this issue? Because it keeps coming back over and over again.
Yeah, the approach. You see, one of the problems, I told someone when I was coming, while driving down here, and I told the person that one of the problems we have is the way people will come up with protest against decisions that would actually nip this in the bud. Take, for instance, if the president decides to give a marching order and he says that he wants military personnel to take charge of the environment, everything, and he wants sanity restored. Believe you me, in the next 72 hours, there will be...
But why do we always have to bring the army into this issue? We're not in a war zone, are we?
As much as we're not in a war zone, we must understand the kind of people we deal with. If we're not in a war zone, people die every day. So what are we? A whole lot of people die, not like they plan to die. Someone goes on the farm, kills someone, but we're not in a war zone. The police can't do anything. So what should happen? I mean, it's just like you're saying that there is no war in my home, but all of a sudden, the gate man comes in and then machetes one of my child, machetes the other one, machetes the third one. But there is no war in my home. So, and I feel that the community security would not be able to handle the gate man. And so because I do not want to involve the police, I feel that I should still use the community security when I know that they will not be able to handle him. And it goes on to kill every member who lives under my roof. But we're not in a war zone, so what are we in? So it simply means that if we say because we're not in a war zone, and we know that these guys cannot handle it, the police cannot handle it. It's beyond the police. You know why? They live with them. They live with them, they know them. So everybody, and one of the problems, one of the things I've talked about security is, so long as the man in the uniform doesn't have assurance that even when he dies on the job, his children will go to school, his wife will be fine, then nobody wants to die, regardless of whatever contract he signs with the federal government.
So this is a systemic rot of sorts.
That's just it.
But in the interim, we're losing lives, we're losing properties, houses. Hundreds of people have fled those areas. Houses were burned. Women and children also ran away. One traveler, Malam Musa Dauda, who narrowly escaped, said he actually saw many houses burning. The police public relations officer in Taraba State, DSP David Misal, could not be reached at the time, to comment on this issue. And this is past 7 p.m. at night, and we're wondering. But
the Wukari local government interim caretaker already said a few things.
Yeah.
You see.
But he's not the police.
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
But as much as he's not the police, he can also give you reports. And I am sure that whatever report the police also would give you will still be based on whatever they gather from the people around there. Just like I said, I think about 3 years ago I was still there, and you would still find those buildings that were burnt many years ago. See, I am of the opinion, people say that that's not the way it should be done because you want to talk about we are in a democracy, we are not in a military era and all of that. But the truth is, do you know that when driving on the street of Lagos, these guys who drive on the road no longer respect the police. They no longer respect the last mile official.
And what's responsible for that?
It is because they feel that they are now same.
How do you mean? I'm trying to understand
Yes,
what that
it is
means.
because they feel they are now same. It is because they know that when I am driving past, even when I commit an offense, it's just all about when we get there, how much you go pay. But do you know that the mad downfall driver who is driving, once he hears that there is a uniformed man who is a soldier standing just 4 or 5 cars away from where he is, there is a level of sanity that is restored into his body system such that he comports for that moment. Now, something happened. I was driving around Ikotun area, and then there was traffic. And all of a sudden, the guy that was beside me, you hear conversations, and the guy that was beside me, that was driving also, is driving a taxi. He had passengers, and the next thing he started saying is, "Wait till happen." Siren. He didn't know that they were soldiers. Wait till happen. Now so they go they shout. Now so they go they shout. Wait till happen. Wait till happen. And then the soldier that was already trying to clear the traffic for, I think, one of their boss, so came and then asked him, "Wait till happen." He said, "Oh God, not be me. Oh. The people waiting my front now they ask, wait till happen. Why they not move?" Meanwhile, he was actually referring to the soldiers. It's to tell you, if we were to be a police, if we still ask the police officer, I thought, say, wait till happen. Why not the shout? There's a level of play.
But you see, because we cannot talk about security in this country without talking about the police, because they're saddled with the number one responsibility of protecting us. Of course, the army protects our borders within and without. But why do you think that the police or security has reduced drastically in the country or somewhat failed in the country, and the loss of respect for these security and uniformed agencies? What do you think is responsible for that? Because one way or the other, that is also, affecting the level of insecurity that we have right now.
It is because the man in uniform sits on the same gallery with the guy who is supposed to be apprehended for smoking India M, and they smoke India M together. The man in uniform. Yes. And so, he's actually supposed to facilitate, probably through an NDLE officer or somebody, to arrest the guy smoking the Indian hemp. But they get to sit together. He uses the lighter of the criminal to light his own, and they smoke together.
Wow. So I know that this is just an example. You're trying to say that a man who's supposed to enforce the law is also breaking the law.
Do you understand me?
So,
and it is vivid. But you will not find anyone that you find that is wearing the army uniform who does that is actually an outcast of the army.
Interesting.
Yes.
Where do we go from here? Because every day, day in, day out, I'm not in any way trying to make light of what happens in Syria or what's happening in Afghanistan. We hear every day of a bomb blast or killings, a death toll, and we're not even at war.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? And we have a new government that has the next level as their mantra for this second tenure.
Okay, wait, maybe let us leave the mantra. We have a government.
Yeah, so where do we go from here? How do we deal with this situation? Because we're quick, like I said yesterday, we're quick to say pray for Sudan and any other place that has issues. But nobody prays for Nigeria. Is it because we have demystified or we no longer have value for human life?
It is not that we no longer have values for human life. It's just because it's now, everybody sees it as, okay, they keep us for there. May God help us. that is the cliche.
So we seemed removed from our reality. I'm wondering why.
Everybody now is conscious of his or her own life, not that of the other person. And that's why you would hear somebody say that he or she wants to take sniper, and the person next to him or her will say, if you take 2 cups. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying.
I'm trying to.
It's just like in another climb. Somebody tries to climb the building and then tries to jump down. And somebody who doesn't know the guy from anywhere is trying to say, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. Just take it easy. I'm coming closer to you. It's not somebody in uniform. Just, But in this part of the world, somebody is actually telling you to jump down because may breeze blow us. Do you understand? There's no value. It's just, even those people who are supposed to be concerned. Have you ever imagined our leaders who go to places where bodies are on the floor and then you still see them, the kind of expression they carry doesn't show any form of remorse? If at all there is anyone who carry any form of remorse, it looks like a drama. And from that point, the person is already attending a birthday party, things are already normal. I mean, there are in this part of the world, no value for human lives. It's so everybody now feels like nobody cares. So when it happens, the next thing you hear, a common Nigerian will tell you, even somebody that is in the uniform will tell you, may God help us.
It's unfortunate, but I want to say thank you to you, Mr. John Wesley, a political analyst. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're talking next level. Well, when or how long can we wait, or will we be waiting for Mr. President to announce the members of his new cabinet? Are we going to stay for 6 months? What is this next level going to be? How speedy will it be? Is it going to be snail speed, or is it going to be, as fast as what they call light? We'll be right back after the break, and we'll still be having Mr. Wesley in the studio. Stay with us.